It was a quiet Saturday morning, and I was enjoying my favorite pastime, scrolling mindlessly through social media while sipping a cup of coffee. My phone buzzed, and I glanced at the screen to see an incoming call from Liam, my best friend since childhood. It was odd for him to call so early, but I picked up without hesitation. "Hey, Liam. What's up?" I greeted cheerfully. "Ethan, we need to talk," he said, his voice heavy with tension. "In person?" Something in his tone made my stomach churn. Liam wasn't one for dramatics. We arranged to meet at our usual spot, a small diner near his place. When I arrived, Liam was already seated in a corner booth, his face pale and serious. Across from him sat his younger sister, Clara, looking equally grim. Clara and I had always been friendly, but we weren't particularly close. Seeing her here, with such a solemn expression, was unsettling. "Hey, Ethan," Clara said quietly, avoiding my eyes. "Hey, Clara," I replied, sliding into the booth. "What's going on?" Liam sighed heavily, rubbing his temples. "Clara has something she needs to tell you." I turned to Clara, my heart pounding. "Okay. I'm listening." She took a deep breath and finally met my gaze. "Ethan, I'm pregnant. And you're the father." The words hit me like a freight train. For a moment, I couldn't speak.
Couldn't think.
All I could do was stare at her in utter disbelief.
What?
I managed to choke out. That's impossible. I'm a virgin." Clara's face flushed, and she looked down at her hands. "I know how it sounds, but it's true." I don't know how to explain it, Ethan, but I'm sure it's you." Liam looked as stunned as I felt, his eyes darting between us. "Ethan, is there any chance? I mean, have you two ever?" "No," I exclaimed, shaking my head vehemently. "Liam, I swear to you, I've never. I haven't even." I trailed off, my face burning with embarrassment. This was not a conversation I'd ever expected to have, especially not with my best friend and his sister. Clara's eyes filled with tears. "I'm not lying, Ethan. I wouldn't make something like this up. I'm just as confused as you are." I ran a hand through my hair, trying to wrap my head around the situation. None of this made any sense. How could Clara possibly think I was the father of her baby? And if she was telling the truth, then what on earth was going on? Liam and I decided to take some time to process the bombshell Clara had just dropped. He assured me he believed in my innocence, but the tension between us was undeniable. We agreed to handle the matter privately for now, and I resolved to uncover the truth. The first step was a DNA test, but that would take weeks to arrange. In the meantime, I decided to retrace my steps and piece together anything that could shed light on Clara's claim. I went through my calendar, my messages, and even talked to friends who might remember something I'd missed. Clara's pregnancy timeline suggested the conception happened about 3 months ago. I racked my brain, trying to remember anything unusual from that time. I'd attended a few parties with Liam, but none that involved Clara. I'd also been working overtime on a big project at my job, leaving little room for a social life. One night, while combing through old photos on my phone, I came across a picture from a party I'd attended 3 months ago. Clara was in the background, talking to someone I didn't recognize. Something about the photo struck me as odd, and I decided to investigate further. The more I dug, the more questions I uncovered. Conversations with mutual friends revealed that Clara had been at several parties I'd attended, though I'd barely noticed her at the time. One friend mentioned seeing her arguing with a guy who'd since disappeared from the social scene. When I confronted Clara about this, she hesitated but eventually admitted that she'd been seeing someone casually around the time she got pregnant. She insisted that their relationship had ended before she discovered her pregnancy and that she was certain he wasn't the father. I don't know why, Ethan," she said, tears streaming down her face. "But I just feel like it's you. I can't explain it, but it's this gut feeling I can't shake." Her words only deepened the mystery. Was it possible there was more to this than simple biology? Could something else be at play here? Something neither of us could explain? As the weeks passed, the situation grew even stranger. Clara's pregnancy showed no complications, but her insistence on my involvement didn't waver. The DNA test finally came back, and the results were inconclusive. The lab couldn't definitively match me to the baby, but they also couldn't rule me out. This revelation turned everything on its head. Could there be a rare genetic anomaly at play? Or was there something deeper, more unexplainable, linking Clara and me? Desperate for answers, I turned to science, and beyond. I consulted geneticists, psychologists, and even a few paranormal experts. Each offered theories, but none could provide definitive answers. Meanwhile, Clara's health took a strange turn. She began experiencing vivid dreams about me, dreams she claimed felt more like memories. These dreams often depicted scenarios where we were together, but I had no recollection of them ever happening. They were oddly specific and unsettlingly accurate in details that only I would know. The situation grew even more perplexing when a psychic, consulted as a last resort, suggested that Clara's dreams were not merely dreams but echoes of an alternate reality. The idea sounded absurd, but it planted a seed of doubt in my mind. One fateful night, while poring over old family records, I stumbled upon a shocking discovery. Decades ago, a distant relative of mine had been involved in a bizarre experiment involving genetic manipulation. Could this explain the strange connection between Clara and me? With this new information, I confronted my parents, who reluctantly admitted to participating in a similar program before I was born. The implications were staggering. Was it possible that some dormant genetic marker had somehow linked me to Clara in an inexplicable way? Further investigation revealed that Clara's family had also unknowingly been part of a parallel experiment. The experiments, conducted by the same shadowy organization, aimed to create genetic bonds between unrelated individuals for reasons still unclear. As we delved deeper, we uncovered chilling details about the experiments. Participants were subjected to genetic enhancements and memory implantation techniques designed to forge connections between test subjects. The lines between biology, psychology, and science fiction blurred as we pieced together the puzzle. One log revealed the existence of a substance called Resonex, which had been injected into select participants to enhance their genetic compatibility. Clara and I were among the few test subjects who showed a unique response to the substance, resulting in an Armed with these revelations, Clara and I sought out the organization responsible for the experiments. Our search led us to a long-abandoned laboratory hidden in the countryside. Inside, we found old documents, lab equipment, and video logs detailing the experiments. To our horror, the logs confirmed that both our families had been heavily involved. One of the logs revealed a groundbreaking yet ethically dubious experiment, a technique called genetic resonance, which could theoretically link two individuals at a molecular level, allowing for shared memories and even biological influence. Clara and I were among the few successful subjects. The discovery was both terrifying and liberating. It explained the inexplicable connection between us, but also raised more questions about the organization's motives. To add another layer of intrigue, we uncovered evidence that the organization, still active under a new name, was monitoring us. Clara and I found hidden cameras in our homes and suspicious devices on our phones. It became clear that our journey for answers had put us on the organization's radar. Determined to expose the organization, we enlisted the help of a former employee turned whistleblower. This individual, known only as Dr. K, revealed that the experiments were part of a larger project to create superhumans with enhanced genetic bonds. Dr. K provided us with access to encrypted files containing shocking data on the organization's ongoing activities. However, our alliance with Dr. K came at a cost. The organization quickly caught wind of our investigation and began targeting us directly. Clara and I found ourselves on the run, dodging surveillance teams and facing increasing threats. The stakes grew even higher when we discovered that the organization planned to use Clara's baby as a key to perfecting their experiments. The thought of her child being used as a pawn in their sinister game fueled our determination to bring them down. In the end, the mystery of Clara's pregnancy brought us closer together. Though the journey was fraught with confusion and heartache, it also led to self-discovery and healing. We may never fully understand what happened, but we've learned to embrace the unknown and support each other no matter what. As for the baby, They became a symbol of unity and resilience, a reminder that even in the face of the unexplainable, we can find strength in our bonds with those we hold dear. Together, Clara, Liam, and I vowed to uncover more about the experiments and to ensure that no one else would ever be subjected to such manipulation.